an interview in response to those claims. They declined to come on 5 News tonight. But joining me now from West London is Pilgrim Tucker, who has campaigned for better social housing in London for a long time, and who warned about the risks well before Wednesday's fire, like many people did, Pilgrim Tucker. But first, I'd just like to get your response to the scenes we've seen at Kensington Chelsea Council headquarters this evening.
I'm completely unsurprised because the response from the council has been so poor. Not only did the council and the tenant management organisation create the problem and cause the horrible tragedy that's happened here, they've been noticeable by their absence. They need to be making immediate commitments to residents who are affected that they will be housed adequately, both short-term and long-term, in the local area.
Do you think there is that housing there? Do you think there is that housing there available?
Okay, we're looking at what? 120 flats, okay? Now there are actually many hundreds of flats in Kensington and Chelsea that are empty, standing empty. Many of these, and this is one of the ways in which this crisis epitomises the huge inequality that we are seeing across Britain. We've got many, many houses just around the corner owned by wealthy international, very wealthy international business people, elites, and yet we've got a situation where we've practically got a refugee camp in the middle of one of London's richest boroughs, and the people who are supposed to be in charge and the people who are supposed to be responsible for those people have just had a completely inadequate reaction. It's a disgrace that KTCMO, the tenant management organisation, hasn't offered to come and explain exactly what's going on. So it's no surprise these people are angry. They were angry before the fire, and why shouldn't they be absolutely furious now?
The anger is understandable. I think many people will feel like that. Do you think that you're not hearing answers because they simply don't have any at this point in time?
There are answers. There are answers. There is money here, there is power here, there are empty homes here. What there is a lack of will. And it's the lack of will that people across the UK, across London, have been seeing for years. And what we are just seeing is the most tragic example of it. It's a disgrace.
In terms of things being promised, Pilgrim Tucker, the Prime Minister has said £5 million will be spent to help people.
We haven't estimated the full costs of this. We haven't yet estimated the full costs to people and the full expense of putting these people's lives back together properly, decently. So I think she should commit an unending amount of money, but I think the Conservatives, both at Kensington and Chelsea Council and at government level, should be looking very, very hard at themselves, and it's time we got some honest answers about how very culpable they are for this.
Yeah, I appreciate that you may want to make it party political. I think there'll be plenty of people who say it's many governments where it's been long-standing underinvestment in buildings like the one behind you that has caused this problem.
Particularly over the last, since 2010, there have been huge cuts. It's undeniable, everybody knows it. Austerity has devastated our communities. It's made even where councils are willing to represent properly there and govern and be accountable to their constituents, they're impossible because of the horrible cuts. And that needs to be addressed. These people need to be housed, these demands need to be met, and it's completely possible and must happen.
Thank you so much. I'm afraid we're out of time. Pilgrim Tucker, many thanks indeed. Still to come on 5 News tonight.